I was having a discussion with a friend recently, and we were talking about things we've noticed in children. So, from children, we're talking about junior secondary school classes up to SS3 classes, and we came to a conclusion that the parenting model of these days is trash. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with Ava. I'm still your girl, Ulatumisi, and this is another episode where I just give my views about life. So, I don't know if you've noticed how children behave these days. They are disrespectful, not just to outsiders, but also to their parents. And their parents would just act like it is normal. And as a teacher, I've seen quite a number of things like that where a student would just act up, and I'll be like, excuse me, do I look like your parents? If you're doing this shit at home, you don't try it here with me. I would not accept that. Because what do you mean I ask you to do something and you're giving me reasons why you are not going to do that thing? Not that, oh, you cannot do it, but you're not going to do it. For instance, I'm writing notes on the board and I find the student's not writing, and I'm asking you why you're not writing, and you say, I forgot my pen at home, or I cannot write. Why can you not write? And then you show me a nonsense bruise at the back of your hand or something like that. And I'm like, Egbami, what's all this rubbish? You are in a school, you are not in your house. And I've had situations of students talking back at me, and I'm like, hey, go that big. First things first, I do not tolerate that type of rubbish in my class. Second things second. Well, do you have a parent at home? Because why do you think it's all right for you to open your mouth? I mean, you connected your brain to your mouth and you decided that the nonsense you just spewed out is the right thing to say. Okay, I'm being calm. I'm gonna be calm. I'm gonna be professional. But when I think of all these things and when I piece these things together, I find out that these children are uncooked. And I don't mean that as an insult. I mean it literally. They are not done. They are raw. And the person who was supposed to put them in the fire long enough to shape them into something didn't do the work. So that is what this podcast is about. Let us talk. Look around you. I'm serious. Just look. We have a generation of children who do not greet adults when they walk into a room, who don't know how to say thank you. You know, they taught us the 5 magic words: please, excuse me, sorry, thank you, pardon me. These words are slowly eroded from the vocabulary of these children. They can't sit still, they can't be corrected, they can't hear the word no without falling apart. I've had parents come to the school to talk about, this teacher asked my child to kneel down, and by the time the child got home, the old knee was sore, so we had to start treating that. Kneeling down, or you ask a child to even stand and raise his or her hands up, and they tell you that by the time the child got home, the whole hand was sore and the child could not do anything. Now, I'm not talking corporal punishments. I'm not saying stool down or drive marwa or whatever. I'm just saying I asked a child to stand up. You're making noise in my class, stand up. And the parents who come to school to start defending that nonsense. Yeah, it's that bad. These children have grown up believing that their feelings are more important than their behavior. I've had students tell me that they cannot write or they don't want to stay in the class because they have a headache or because something, and you see them 5 minutes later, they are gisting with their friends. I don't even have a problem with that. It's not by force to learn. I mean, it's not by force. But these are things that, as someone that just became an adult, like I just left my teenage years behind, they did not born me well to do those rubbish. These children have been conformed to see that their comfort matters more than their character. And it's not just in one place, it is everywhere. You see it in schools. Teachers are exhausted, not because the work is hard, but because they are fighting children every single day to maintain basic order. You see it in public. Kids are running wild while their parents are on their phones, completely disconnected. You see it online. Children without filter, no home training, just performing for the internet with zero sense of shame or accountability. You see it everywhere. I've had first-hand access to these students, and I've seen it play out, and I'm like, I pity your parents. I pity your family line. And the thing that gets me the most is that these kids are not the problem. They didn't raise themselves. Somebody made them this way, or more accurately, someone failed to make them into anything at all. We talk a lot about broken systems, bad schools, social media, mental health, and yes, all of these things are real, but we are dancing around the most uncomfortable truth, which is that a lot of parents today are simply not parenting. I think a lot of people are just sperm donors and wombs. They are not fathers, they are not mothers, they are not fathering these children, they are not mothering these children. See, if I start to talk about my experience, especially being in the education sector, I won't exhaust the timeline for this podcast. It is alarming. I've had students tell me that they are the only ones living in the house, so their parents would give them money or just leave food stuff at home and leave them for a stretch of time. Now I'm saying both father and mother, leave them alone for a stretch of time. So they believe that as long as these children have food at home, they are fine, they'll sort themselves out. Which might not be a problem if the foundation of these children is solid, like you've taught them basic character. And I'm not going to dispute the fact that there are some children that the parents tried in their life. The children just decided to go on their own path. There is that. But most of them, the parents are the issues. There are times parents would come to the school, maybe to the staff room. Maybe you call, you tell a student to invite their parents, or for whatever reason the parents comes to the school, and you see the way these parents act and the way they talk, and you be like, yes, I get it. Your child's life cannot be good, except for divine and intentional intervention. This child's life cannot turn out well. I grew up in Nigeria, and if you grew up here too, you already know what I'm about to say. We were trained. I grew up in a family where my dad didn't really believe in beating us. My dad would not beat you except you've pushed, the limits. My mom would use slippers, pots, omorogun, ijabe, whatever she can lay her hands on to discipline you. Yes. And I want to believe that this is the same for maybe most of us. Our parents would discipline you. You cannot just decide to misbehave. You cannot just decide to move mad. It's not. Who born you? I mean, where do you want to see the audacity? Where do you want to order your order? You just get it from a little age, like right from the time you're growing up. The moment you start doing something, the moment they find out, the moment they know that your brain is functioning and you understand basic commands, you must walk according to that path. There was order, there were rules. When an elder walked into the room, you greet. When you are giving food, you say thank you. You don't mumble. When your parents speak, you listen. Not because you agreed, but because respect was not optional. Respect was the baseline. Now, I grew up in a household where my dad trained us to speak our minds. He would say his own. You would also express your view. But as you are saying it, use your sense. Because you would have to say it in a way that is respectful. You won't talk to him disrespectfully when you are not mad. I mean, where do you... He's not saying don't express yourself. Right, express yourself. Say what you want to say. Say your point of view. Disagree with him. Yes, it's fine with that. It's not... There are some things that he was authoritative about, but there were some other things that would happen and it would give you the chance to express yourself. What happened? Say it. But respect was the baseline. I remember one time where my senior sister, my elder sister, did something to me and I didn't like it, so I disrespected her. I think she's... People, don't let me say what I did. But she did something to me and I reciprocated. My dad found out and he said I was being disrespectful to my sister, so my sister was going to beat me and I must not touch her. Now, one thing that we were trained on was that if somebody beats you, you beat your own back. It's not in our house that somebody will beat you and then you come home to cry. No, they beat you, you beat your own back. But in this particular scenario, my dad said, my sister is going to beat me. She's going to beat me to her satisfaction and I must not touch her. Now, my sister did that. We were also trained not to beat ourselves. So you don't act violently, you don't hit the other person. Anything you cannot communicate. If someone offends you at home and you cannot say, oh, don't do this thing, I don't like this thing, whatever, go and report. The parents would undo it, but you don't raise your hand against the other person. But this particular day, my dad said my sister should beat me, and that girl beats me. She beat me and I could not do anything. I could not touch her back. After that whole thing, my dad called me and he told me that the reason he asked my sister to beat me was because she's older than I am. So the fact that even if she is a day older than I am to respect her. We are Nigerians, we are Africans. Respect is the baseline. And discipline was real. If you stepped out of line, there were consequences. Your parents won't negotiate with you like you were a business partner. No, they would correct you. And yes, I'll be honest, sometimes that correction was too much. Sometimes the methods were harsh. Sometimes love and punishment got tangled up in ways that left marks. I'm not going to pretend like everything was perfect because it wasn't. But here's what I know. I know how to greet people. I know how to walk into a room. I know how to sit with discomfort instead of running from it. I know how to work hard and not expect applause for just showing up. I know how to respect people who are older than me, not because they were always right, but because Wisdom deserves an honor. Now, that's not to say that everybody that is older is wise, but that's another conversation. These things didn't come from nowhere. They came from how I was raised. They came from parents and aunties and uncles and teachers and a whole community that understood that a child is not finished when they are born. They are a project and they require investment. They require shaping. They require someone who cares enough to be uncomfortable for their sake. We grew up in a community where everybody had their eyes on you. You dare not misbehave in public, because before you get home, the news of what you did had gotten home and is waiting for you at home. So you cannot just misbehave. At least I know that the community I grew up, you cannot misbehave. There's this woman at the back of our house that her own is too much. This woman can come inside our room. Maybe she came to see her mom and she passes through her room and she sees that maybe the room is disorganized. And she will start talking, and then it will get into my mom's ear. My mom would come and start shouting at us or discipline us for scattering our room. So we were a community project. In school, there was a particular incident where a teacher caught somebody's phone with me. Now, this teacher knows my dad, and she said she seized the phone. Now, I was a model student, a very good student, please. Accolades, please, the applause, because I was a model student. No problem. I didn't disobey rules, did my assignments, that type of student, that good student. But that day, I broke a rule, which was that no student should be found with a phone. And she found this phone with me. I was even using earpiece. I was listening to music. And I was listening to Eminado. I remember. To a Savage, Eminado. And this woman collected the phone. And she said she was not going to return it. And she was going to report me to my dad. And the only person that could collect that phone from her was my dad. Here? My dad did not give me a phone at home. Would I find out that I had to beg. I was crying. I had to beg. And she let me go on a strict note of warning that she was not find that type of nonsense with me again. And she did not. So there was a community. The Yoruba people will say that Ojumeri Lombimo Igba Ojunin Tomo, which means that 4 eyes birth a child, but Igba is 200, right? Yeah, so 200 eyes will train the child, which means that there is a community. Your church, your family, your school, your mosque, your religious institutions, wherever you are, that community is there. And that is what we had, and it's made us. Now look at what we are producing without it. Now, some of us are married, some of us are not, but we are producing. Now, I want to speak directly to any parent listening. If you're married, if you have a child, whether you are married or not, as long as you have a child, you are part of the process of raising a child. Listen to this. I'm not here to shame you. I'm really not. Parenting today is hard in ways that it wasn't hard before. I've not parented a child before, but I have a younger brother that I'm at least a decade older than, and I'm part of his parenting process, so I understand a little. The world is louder. There are more things to navigate. You are tired. You are stretched. I understand that. But I need you to hear this clearly. Your child is not your friend. They are your responsibility. And friendship, real friendship, the kind that is built on mutual respect and shared history, that comes later. That comes when you've done the work. That comes when they are grown and they look back and say, my parents showed up for me even when it was hard. That's when the friendship is earned. My mom was the stricter parent. My mom was the one that we didn't like to see coming. I didn't like to see her coming because she would nitpick anything You swept, you did not sweep very well. You washed plates, you did not wash it very well. You cooked, you did not cook it. So she would nitpick everything. Your room was not, the room is never clean enough. But that was my childhood years. Now, my mom is my closest friend. If anything is going on in my life, my mom is the first person to know. I don't have friends. But yeah, I have friends too. At least I have friends. But I find myself more comfortable talking to my mom. My mom is my safe place. She is somebody that I always want to talk to. We are always gisting. And that started when I finished SS3, when I finished secondary school. That was when I became closer with my mom. When my younger brother was still in secondary school, it wasn't really that close with my mom because he was going through his teenage delinquency years and my mom was being my mom. But now they are close. They would gist, they would talk. Why? My mom had done the work. Right now, your children need you to be the adults in the room. They need you to hold the line, especially when they cry, even when they throw a fit, even when they call you unfair, especially then, because the world outside your house is not going to be gentle with them. The world is not going to negotiate. And if your child has never been told no at home, if they've never had to sit in discomfort and come out the other side, they are not ready for what's waiting for them. You are not protecting your child by making everything easy. You are leaving them exposed. The African parents who raised us, they weren't parenting for the moment. They were parenting for the future. They were thinking about who we would become, not just how we felt today. And that's the shift I'm asking you to make. Were our parents perfect? No. Are there some things that our parents did that we are not to be doing to our children? Definitely. But these people tried their best to make us into who we are today. There are some things that I would see happening around me and I would say it that they not born me where to do this thing. My mom didn't raise me like that. My dad didn't raise me like that. There are times I would refer back to, my parents, because those people tried upon my head. They did the work and I'm grateful that they did. So we need to stop parenting for right now and start parenting for 20 years from now. Now I'm going to leave you with one question today. Think about the values that are still with you, the ones that were put inside you when you were young, the ones that have carried you through hard times, that have shaped how you show up in the world, that you are genuinely grateful for, even if the process of getting them wasn't always easy. Now ask yourself, what am I passing down? Not what are you providing? Not what are you buying or funding or make it possible. What are you passing down? What values, what standards, what sense of self are you passing down? The child that you don't train today would grow up poor, and you will meet that child in future. The child that is supposed to be your peace in the future will start being your problem. I take a look at my students and I'm like, these are the doctors of tomorrow. These are the teachers of tomorrow. Probably some of them would teach my children. And I really cannot see the output that they are going to give. These children that are untrained would mix with your children. So another thing is, as a community, I feel like we've lost the sense of community. Everybody's minding their business, which is fine. But community, like I said, growing up, We had that community, people that put you in line even when your parents aren't there, and that is lacking now. So let us also try to build our community, because it's not just for us but also for our children. Back to what I was saying, what values, what standards are we passing down? Because things can be taken, opportunities can close, money comes and goes, but what is built inside a person, what is wired into their character from a young age, that stays. That is what our parents gave us, even imperfectly, even in their broken ways. They gave us something to stand on. Your children deserve the same. So that is everything on this episode. I'm glad you're here. This is a very long episode, so if you listened up to this point, thank you very much. And if this strikes a nerve, share with somebody you think needs to hear it. We will talk again soon. Until then, stay jiggy.